Since 1990, we have spent millions of euros and tens of thousands of research hours to find scientific answers to life's most important and challenging questions. What makes us happy? What makes us healthy? How can we heal from physical and mental disease? How can we heal emotionally and sexually so we can be happy in our relationships? How can we develop our talents and be of value to the world? We have interviewed more than 15,000 people and asked more than 4,000 different questions. After 20 years of intensive research, we are beginning to find the answers we have been looking for so long. We have already presented these answers in 250 research papers and about 30 books. Now we bring it all to you. Evaluation of the patient before intervention. When you are sitting in the clinic and you meet a new patient, you need to do the right thing. So there's an evaluation of the patient. And how should this be done? In my clinic, I use a questionnaire. A small questionnaire with 10 questions called the CAR 10 on all aspects, all major aspects of the patient's life. Self-assessed physical health, mental health, quality of life or happiness, relationships to partner and other people, sexual functioning, social functioning, working functioning, all these important things. And I ask the patient to rate him or herself on this scale with 5 points from very good to very bad. And this gives a very good impression of the state of the patient, and it's also very important documentation for improvement in therapy. Because if you can measure the patient before and after treatment, then you can actually document a betterment of the patient. So I think it's very important to measure the quality of life and health and ability before and after. So this gives you a good idea about the state of the patient and also the areas that needs attention. More important than that, of course, is your experience of your patient. What is the problem? And as you get trained, you know this within the first minute that you are with the patient. Because every human being are constructed the same way. So in a way it's easy to be a therapist or a doctor. It's easy because it's easy to understand what's wrong with the patient. But not the patient, of course. The patient can understand it. This is why he or she comes to you. So now you're sitting there with your understanding. If it's a physical problem, a mental problem, sexual problem, existential problem, psychological problem, it can also be an economical problem, social problem. You're sitting there with your understanding, and the patient is a mess. The patient doesn't understand. So now you need a strategy to make the patient come to understand and see what you are seeing. But you cannot just tell it, because the patient will never accept that. For instance, if you have a working life problem, the patient is not behaving constructively, is not using his or her talents well, and you can say, but you're not using yourself well. You are not playing as talented as you could be. If you're saying this, there will be a lot of resistance, a lot of arguments against it. So what you need to do is to explore everything with the patient in a neutral way, where the patient comes to understand this in a way by him or herself, without you pointing to it or showing it or telling it. In a way it's a dance, because you cannot really not say it, because when you know it, it's like, yeah, impossible not to tell it in a way. But you have to tell it in such a way that it doesn't cause too much resistance, like in a general way. So it's not really about you being the patient being fooled, but about how life is like this. So, a formal evaluation with a questionnaire, and a real evaluation where you're using yourself as the instrument. These two ways are useful, it seems.